Hello students, welcome to the lecture on marketing environment, and after the lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the factors in the organization's microenvironment, define the macroenvironment, discuss the ethics in marketing, understand the marketing process and marketing mix, explain the marketing audit and SWOT analysis. Let's begin with a brief introduction to marketing. Marketing is defined by the American Marketing Association as the activity set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners and society at large. The term developed from the original meaning which referred literally to going to the market, as in shopping or going to a market to sell goods or services. Marketing practice tends to be seen as a creative industry which includes advertising, distribution and selling. It is also concerned with anticipating the customer's future needs and wants, which are often discovered through market research. Marketing is influenced by many of the social sciences, particularly psychology, sociology and economics. Anthropology is also a small but growing influence. Market research underpins these activities. Through advertising, it is also related to many of the creative arts. The marketing literature is also infamous for reinventing itself and its vocabulary according to the times and the culture. In a market where requirements and the operational environment for plant are changing rather rapidly compared to the former years, flexibility is one key driver for business success. Besides the requirement for high performance and high availability to achieve low life cycle cost, flexibility in the plant operations and maintenance are strong drivers. Flexibility can play an important role not only on the operations side. Flexibility is as well a valuable asset in the field of maintenance. As for the operational flexibility, maintenance flexibility can come in several different facets. One of those is the capability to influence the maintenance intervals depending not only by the duty cycle but by the power output of the plant. Such the operator can influence the time till the next major outage to shift it where possible to a time of low revenue potential by changing the plant output. In other words, we can say that marketing consists of all the strategies and tactics used to identify, create and maintain satisfying relationships with customers that result in value for both the customer and the marketeer. Starting point for learning about marketing is to begin with the basics, and that starts with defining marketing. Since marketing has been an important part of business for a very long time, we could consult one of the many hundreds of books written on the subject to locate a definition. Or, as is more the custom today, we could search the internet to see how marketing is defined. Whether we search print or electronic form, we will find that marketing is defined in many different ways. Let's now Let's now talk about the factors in the organization's microenvironment. Every company's primary goal is to serve and satisfy a specified set of needs of a chosen target market. To carry out this task, the company links itself with a set of suppliers and a set of marketing intermediaries to reach its target customers. The suppliers, company marketing intermediaries, customers chain comprises the core marketing system of the company. The company's success will be affected by two additional groups, namely a set of competitors and a set of publics. Company management has to watch and plan for all these factors. Suppliers. Suppliers are business firms who provide the needed resource to the company and its competitors to reproduce the particular goods and services. For example, Bakery de Sota must obtain sugar, wheat, cellophane paper and other materials to produce and package its breads. Labor, equipment, fuel, electricity and other factors of production are also to be obtained. Now the company must decide whether to purchase or make its own. When the company decides to buy some of the inputs, it must make certain specification call for tender, etc., and then it segregates the list of suppliers. Usually, company chooses the suppliers who offer the best mix of quality, delivery, schedule credit, guarantee and low cost. Any sudden change in the suppliers' environment will have a substantial impact on the company's marketing operations. Company. Marketing management at any organization, while formulating marketing plans, have to take into consideration other groups in the company such as top management, finance, R&D, purchasing, manufacturing and accounting. Finance department has to be consulted for the funds available for carrying out the marketing plan apart from others. R&D has to be continuously doing new product development. Manufacturing has to be coordinated based on the market demand and the supply of the products. Marketing intermediaries. Channel members are the vanguard of the marketing implementation part. They are the people who connect the company with the customers. There are a number of middlemen who operate in this cycle. Agent middlemen like brokers and agents find customers and establish contacts. Merchant middlemen are the wholesalers, retailers who take title to and resell the merchandise. Competitors. If one company plans a marketing strategy at one side, there are a number of other companies in the same industry doing such other calculations. Coke has competitors in Pepsi, Maruti has competitors from Tata Indica, Santro, etc. Not only that the competition comes from the branded segment, but also from the generic market, where there are only few branded products of rice, but there are numerous generic variety of rice, according to the local taste in each region of the country. Sometimes competition comes from different forms. Airlines have to overcome competitions not only from the other airlines, but also from railways and ships. Basically, every company has to identify the competitor, monitor their activities, and capture their moves and maintain customer loyalty. Hence, every company comes out with their own marketing strategies. Publics. A public can facilitate or seriously affect the functioning of the company. Philip Kotler defines public as any group that has an actual or potential interest or impact on a company's ability to achieve its objectives. Kotler notes that there are different types of publics: government publics, citizen action publics, local publics, general publics and internal publics. Since the success of the company will be affected by how various public view their activity, the companies have to monitor these publics, anticipate their moves, dealing with them in constructive ways. Customers. Customers are the fulcrum around whom the marketing activities of the organization revolve. The marketeer has to face the following types of customers. Customer markets. Markets for personal consumption. Industrial markets. Goods and services that could become the part of a product in those industry. Institutional buyers. Institutions like schools, hospitals which buys in bulk. Reseller markets. The organizations buy goods for reselling their products. And government markets. They purchase the products to provide public services. International markets. It consists of foreign buyers and governments. Let's now discuss macroenvironment. Macroenvironment consists of 6 major forces, viz. Demographic, economic, physical, technological, political and legal, and socio-cultural. Demography is the study of human population in terms of size, density, location, age, gender, occupation, etc. The demographic environment is of major interest to marketeers because it involves people. The people make up the markets. The world population and the Indian population in particular are growing at an explosive rate. This has major implications for business. A growing population means growing human needs. Depending on the purchasing powers, it may also mean growing market opportunities. On the other hand, decline in population is a threat to some industrial and the boon to others. The marketing executives of toy-making industry spent a lot of energy and efforts and developed fashionable toys and even advertised "babies are our business, our only business," but quietly dropped this slogan when children population came down due to declining birth rate and later shifted their business to life insurance for old people and changed their advertisement slogan as "the company has not had babies for the over 50s. The increased divorce rate shall also have the impact on marketing decisions. The higher divorce rate results in additional housing units, furniture, appliances and other household appliances. Economic environment. Markets require purchasing power as well as people. The economic environment can have a major impact on businesses by affecting patterns of demand and supply. Companies need to monitor these indicators to survive in the market. Total purchasing power is functions of current income, prices, savings and credit availability. Marketers should be aware of 4 main trends in the economic environment. Those economic factors which have their effect on the working of the business are known as economic environment. It includes system, policies and nature of an economy, trade cycles, economy resources, level of income, distribution of income and wealth, etc. The elements of economic environment. It has mainly 5 main components: economic conditions, economic system, economic policies, international economic environment, economic legislations. Economic conditions of a nation can be of any one of the following type. Capitalism. The economic system in which business units or factors of production are privately owned and governed is called capitalism. The profit earning is the sole aim of the business units. Socialism. Under socialism economic system, all the economic activities of the country are controlled and regulated by the government in the interest of the public. The first country to adopt this concept was Soviet Russia.
The macro environment today for commodities has been a little weak in the short term. In the US, we've seen a continuation of weak housing prices. We've seen GDP growth below expectations. Industrial production growth has been weaker than expected. And we're seeing similar things in some other parts of the world. In Brazil, for example, they have inflation issues as well as slowing growth. We're seeing similar things, in fact, in China. But what we're seeing is policymakers are getting a handle on these issues, putting the policies in place that are going to set a more sustainable, long-term story for resources that's going to be positive looking forward. Gold prices have been rising in the last several months, and we see this continuing for some time to come. On the demand side, we're seeing renewed buying interest out of central banks around the world. Korea, Thailand, Mexico, a number of central banks that haven't really been buying gold for 20 years have come back into the marketplace in a pretty big way. So we're certainly seeing strong demand for gold. Whether you're talking about inflation, which is a concern for some investors, or whether you're talking about growth that might be too slow and cause central bankers and policymakers to stimulate the system with more monetary action, that would also be positive for gold. Either one of these scenarios, in fact, is very positive for gold. So we see the rise continuing for some time to come. Slowdown in China certainly would have an impact on commodity demand, and we're seeing some of that in the short term right now. China's grappling with inflationary issues, which policymakers have made clear that they want to quash, get inflation down to more manageable levels. What's this resulted in the short term has been lower demand for copper, lower imports for oil, and we're seeing some of this flow through into the prices for commodities. But policymakers have a handle on the issues. And what we think China is setting up is a more sustainable, long-term growth trajectory that's ultimately going to be positive for the resources. Despite some of the short-term headwinds and headlines that we're reading in the marketplace, we're finding lots of opportunities in the market today, in oil and gas, even in the gold space. But oil and gas in particular One area that we found plenty of opportunities is in the energy services space. These are companies that help drill the wells, provide various services to the oil and gas companies as they go searching for more oil and gas. What we're seeing is oil companies today are drilling almost exclusively oil wells. And despite only drilling oil wells, they're using up virtually all of the service capacity that's in the marketplace. And we think as gas prices recover over the next 12 to 18 months, you're going to see further demand put on those services, enabling them to raise prices and have even increased activity beyond what we're seeing today. Despite this, we're seeing low valuations in those stocks, and we think there's a great buying opportunity in the energy service stocks today.
Let us discuss the marketing process. Under the marketing concept, the firm must find a way to discover unfulfilled customer needs and bring to market products that satisfy those needs. The process of doing so can be modeled in a sequence of steps. The situation is analyzed to identify opportunities, the strategy is formulated for a value proposition, tactical decisions are made, the plan is implemented, and the results are monitored. Key elements of process. Planning. The old adage always rings true: if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. Successful outcomes do not happen by accident. It is all about making sure we know what is required and then putting a plan in place to ensure we can deliver what is needed. Achieving a successful marketing result requires an effective marketing plan that contains strategies, tactics, and activities that will satisfy the needs and wants of the marketplace. Systems and procedures. Well-developed systems and procedures will provide a framework upon which positive customer experiences can be built and delivered. Systems and procedures will contribute to the efficiency, cost effectiveness, consistency, risk minimization, and ultimately profitability of your business. Documentation. Accurate, accessible, and accountable documentation is at the core of any successful business. Documentation delivers information, and information is the fuel that powers business. Quality control. We have probably heard of the saying garbage in, garbage out. This is most applicable when developing process becomes the outcome of the process is only as good as the input. It is critical that we ensure the quality of processes within our business is high and consistent. Poor quality or inconsistent processes will invariably result in substandard service, potentially costly errors, loss of customers, and damaged goodwill. Good quality control comes from good systems and procedures, effective documentation, and a commitment to continuous improvement by all sections of the business.
Price involves a lot more than only deciding the selling price. It also involves discounts, markets, demand curve, price elasticity, price goals, objectives, strategies, tactics, fixed and variable costs, price leadership, and a lot more. First of all, let's begin by the definition of price. Price is the amount of money requested by a seller. This can either be too high, which results in customers not willing to buy your products, or this can be too low, which results in a loss of profit. In order to find a good balance, we can look at some factors that influence the price. The first influence on price is cost, which is quite logical when you think about it. Costs exist in fixed and variable costs. Let's start with the fixed cost. Fixed costs are costs that are made no matter the amount of production. For example, rent. No matter how much you produce, you still have to pay the monthly rent. Variable costs are costs that increase or decrease dependent on the amount of production. More production means a higher variable cost and vice versa. The second influence on price is the type of market you are in. There are 4 types of markets, starting with monopoly, which means that there is one major seller which controls the entire market. The second one is an oligopoly, who has few sellers which compete against each other. The third market structure is the monopolistic competition. There are many sellers in this competition who compete by lowering prices. The third influence on price is the demand curve. A demand curve shows the maximum number of customers that will buy your product at a given price. By using the demand curve, we can find where the revenue is the highest. A higher price does not always mean a higher revenue. If you lose customers by increasing your price, this leads to a lower revenue. Therefore, the demand curve can help you in setting the perfect price for your goods. The fourth influence on price is price elasticity. A product can be either price elastic or price inelastic. If a product is price elastic, this means that a relatively small change in price causes a relatively big change in sales. Most likely, if you decrease the price of an elastic good, the revenue goes up. Price inelastic is the other way around. This means that the relatively big change in price causes a relatively small change in sales. But you are not done yet when you have set your price. Since the market is changing so quickly nowadays, you have to adapt your price regularly. Lowering your price is not the only tool we can use to keep the customers buying your products. Most often, companies use discounts in order to keep customers satisfied and not lose profit. Discounts come in four types. The quantity discounts, which means that the more products you buy, the higher the discount. Seasonal discounts, which means that dependent on the season it is, you get a discount. Cash discounts. This means that the sooner you pay, the more discount you get. Lastly, the functional discounts. This means that getting a discount because you perform an additional function in a distribution channel.
Let's discuss in brief the marketing mix. According to Stanton, marketing mix is a combination of four elements, 4 P's: product, pricing structure, physical distribution system, and promotional activities used to satisfy the needs of an organization's target market and at the same time achieve its marketing objectives. It is known as a mix because each ingredient affects the other and the mix must overall be suitable to the target customer. For instance, high-quality materials used in a product may mean that a higher selling price can be achieved. An advertising campaign carried in one area of the country requires distribution of the product to be in place in advance of the campaign to ensure there are no disappointed customers. Promotion is needed to emphasize the new features and benefits of a product. Every business enterprises have to determine its marketing mix for the satisfaction of needs of the customers. Marketing mix represents a blending of decisions in 4 areas: product, pricing, promotion, and physical distribution. These elements are interrelated because decision in one area usually affects actions in the other. The basic purpose to determining the marketing mix is to satisfy the needs and wants of the customers in the most effective manner. As the needs of customers and the environmental factors change, the marketing mix is also changed. Thus, marketing mix is a dynamic concept. It concentrates on how to satisfy the needs of the customers. Marketing mix is a combination of several mixes. Marketing mix encompasses product mix, brand, quality, weight, etc., price mix, unit price, discount, credit, etc., promotion mix, advertising, salesmanship and sales promotion, and place mix, distribution channels, transport, storage, etc. An effective marketing mix is one which meets customers' needs, achieves marketing objectives, is balanced and consistent, creates a competitive advantage for the business. The marketing mix for each business and industry will vary. It will also vary over time. For most businesses, 1 or 2 elements of the mix will be seen as relatively more important than the others. Nature of marketing mix. Marketing mix is the marketing manager's instrument for the attainment of marketing goals. It is composed of 4 ingredients: the product, the pricing, the promotional activities, and the physical distribution. These elements constitute the core of the marketing system of a firm. A marketing manager implements his marketing strategies and policies through these instruments. The importance of marketing mix. Marketing mix represents a blending of 4 elements, namely product, price, promotion, and physical distribution. Determination of marketing mix is an important decision which the marketing manager has to take. If proper marketing mix is determined, the following benefits will occur to the organization. Marketing mix serves as a link between the business firm and its customers. It focuses attention on the satisfaction of the customers. Thus, it helps in pursuing consumer-oriented marketing. Since marketing mix takes care of the needs of the customers, it helps in increasing sales and earning higher profits. Marketing mix gives consideration to the various elements of the marketing system. There is a balanced relation between these elements. For instance, the price of a product depends upon its features and branding, packaging, etc. Let us now learn about marketing audit. Clearly, any marketing plan will only be as good as the information on which it is based, and the marketing audit is the means by which information for planning is organized. A marketing audit is a systematic, critical, and unbiased review and appraisal of all the external and internal factors that have affected an organization's commercial performance over a defined period. It answers the question, where is the organization now? The marketing audit is essentially a database of all market-related issues for the company, which forms part of the company-wide management audit. By providing an understanding of how the organization relates to the environment in which it operates, the marketing audit enables management to select a position within that environment based on known factors. Often, the need for a marketing audit does not manifest itself until things start to go wrong for the organization, such as declining sales, falling margins, lost market share, underutilized production capacity, and so on. However, without knowing the cause of these danger signs, management can easily treat the wrong symptoms and fail to address the root problems. The problems have first to be properly defined, and the marketing audit helps to define them by providing a structured approach to the collection and analysis of data and information on the complex business environment. Any organization carrying out an audit will be faced with two kinds of variables, those over which it has no direct control and those over which it has complete control. The former including economic and market factors, while the latter usually concerns the organization's resources or the operational variables. This division suggests that the marketing audit should be structured in two parts. External audit, the uncontrollable variables like business and economic environment, the market, the competition. Internal audit is the controllable variables like the organization's strengths and the weaknesses, operations and the resources vis-a-vis the environment and the competitors. As well as considering what the marketing audit should cover when the audit should be undertaken.
You know, I'm the member of an entrepreneurs group, and every month we get together and talk about how we can help each other improve our businesses. One of the members asked me the other day, "Hey Eric, you talk a lot about marketing all the time, but without asking you directly, how can I know if my marketing's going in the right direction?" So based on that, I created a 6-part audit that this person could use to look at their marketing program and decide whether or not they're actually going in the right direction. In today's Video Marketing Minute, I want to share those 6 areas of the audit so that you can perhaps look at your marketing and make some changes to enhance the productivity. Here we go. The first thing I asked them to look at was reach. Do you measure how well you rank both organically and on paid searches? Do you have an email marketing program in place? Do you look at things like what the open rates are, the click-through rates, the opt-out rates? Do you have a presence on social media channels relevant to your organization? Not everybody needs a Facebook page. And do you measure your potential reach in things like likes and followers and subscribers and video views? Those are all part of the reach conversation. Moving on to number 2, I asked them to look at the mechanics of their program. Are the graphic elements being used correctly? Do you have empathetic photos on your website? Is the programming correct and able to be read by search engines on your website? How well are your social media channels set up? Do you have all your profiles, descriptions, tags, links, and everything's optimized and set up correctly? Number 3, I asked them to look at their content. Number 1, how are they producing new content? Do you have a content strategy? Are you always putting out new ways to establish yourself as the thought leader in your industry? How strong are your content assets? What formats are you using? Text, video, photos, audio, applications. Are you delivering your message in a way that the people receiving your content want to receive it? Number 4, conversion, probably the most important of the 4 or of the 6 categories. Are your digital channels designed with a conversion funnel in mind? Are we getting people to give you their information so they can start the conversation, albeit on one end of the spectrum with a marketing conversation or a sales conversation if they're getting closer to buying? It's important that you have clear call to actions on your website, getting people moving towards the direction of doing business with you. Number 5, integration. Are all of your offline and online touch points integrated? Are social media channels accessible from your website and vice versa? Are you cross-linking from one social media channel to another? Do your offline activities drive people back to your website? For example, if you have a print ad, are you saying go to our website for more information? And the 6th, and also very important topic of tracking and metrics was the last part of the audit. Do you have objectives in place for awareness, influence, engagement, conversions? What metrics are you using to gauge that performance? Do you have reporting protocols in place? How frequently are you getting reports? Do you actually look at them? And do you have a mechanism to make changes when you see things that are challenging? Using these 6 components of your marketing audit, reach, mechanics, content conversion, integration, and tracking, you should be able to assess your marketing program correctly.
Let's discuss the SWOT analysis. It will not take much time. It will help to develop a strong business strategy by making sure we have considered all of our business's strengths and weaknesses as well as the opportunities and threats it faces in the marketplace. Strengths and weaknesses are internal to the company. Think reputation, patents, location. We can change them over time, but not without some work. Opportunities and threats are external, things suppliers, competitors, prices. They are out there in the market happening whether we like it or not. We cannot change them. Existing businesses can use a SWOT analysis at any time to assess a changing environment and respond proactively. In fact, we recommend conducting a strategy review meeting at least once a year that begins with the SWOT analysis. New businesses should use a SWOT analysis as a part of their planning process. There is no one-size-fits-all plan for businesses, and thinking about new business in terms of its unique SWOTs will put us on the right track right away and save us from a lot of the headaches later on. Now, in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Marketing is defined as the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners and society at large. A key objective of marketing is to provide products and services that customers really want and to make customers feel their contact with the marketer is helping build a good relationship between the two. Social factors influence the products people buy, the prices they are willing to pay, the effectiveness of special promotions, and how, when, and where people purchase products. Natural environment includes factors such as seasonal variations, climatic differences, soil conditions, and natural terrain. To get the most complete objective results, a SWOT analysis is best conducted by a group of people with different perspectives and stakes in the company.